So my next most requested item to review is, drumroll please, where's Ringo when you need him? I don't know. The Hours and Times. Love this movie. It's one of the first biopic type films I ever bought about the Beatles, and it really only involves one Beatle, John, and Brian, the fifth Beatle in some social circles. In my personal opinion, I think George Martin is more of a fifth Beatle. Whatever. Brian can be the sixth Beatle. How many Beatles can there be? A lot. Just kidding. This film, in 1963, John and Brian took a 4 or 5 day vacation to Barcelona, Spain. And they went alone, and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of speculation surround this trip. Did John go on the trip just to get closer to Brian so he could be more in control of the Beatles? Or did they go on the trip for sexual purposes? All of these different stories. So many different Beatles people have all of these tales of what John told them about the trip, what Brian told them about the trip. This film basically takes the trip and speculates about like what could have happened. And it's a Christopher Munch film, and he's phenomenal, as you hopefully know. Ian Hart plays John Lennon. If you've ever seen Backbeat, he also plays John in that film, and he does a great job. And David Angus, oh, is that his name? David Angus, I believe, plays Brian. I think that's the right name I'm fishing for. And I think he looks pretty good to play Brian. This is obviously the Brian character, and there's the John character. I think they both look pretty close. And I think David, that is his name. Yeah, David Angus. I think he does a really, really good job. The film's relatively short. It's only 60 minutes long. But it's really good. It covers, I think, the entire Barcelona trip. It starts with them on the plane headed there and goes through a couple days, and it ends when they're getting ready to go to this bullfight. And if you're not big on thinking of John as being bisexual, or at least bi-curious, you probably won't like this film because it kind of gives that angle to it. And there are some scenes, I'm not going to give them away, but there are some scenes that definitely point in that direction. As everyone probably knows, Brian Epstein was homosexual. Not necessarily openly, but those around him apparently knew. And so that's not really flaunted in the film all that much. Although it is very obvious that he sort of pines for John in the film. Which a lot of people in real life claim he really did. But I've also heard accounts that he pined after the other Beatles as well, not just John. So, but the film itself, I think, is just wonderful. I love the visual elements of it. I love the dialogue, everything. Everything about this film just strikes me as awesome. I think the actors do a wonderful job portraying John and Brian. Wonderfully done. There's some great... There's a scene where Brian talks on the phone to his mother. That's really sweet. And then there's a scene where John talks to Cynthia. Not as sweet, but kind of how I really imagine John probably talked to Cynthia. It's just a really amazing film. So there you go. That's my review of The Hours and Times. Watch it, love it, live it. It's great.